day, Brutal Planet listeners. This is Eric Peterson, quarantining from Salt Lake City. And today I have the honor to be joined by Trent Falcone from Velen. How you doing today, Trent?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
The honor, man. You're honored, huh?
Yeah, I'm honored, man.
That's a strong opening.
Yeah. So tell us, let's just start right out from the very beginning. Tell us a little bit about the band. I kind of know because I see you wear your influences, and I'm just curious as to where you guys got your influences around from and how you guys formed and that kind of stuff.
Oh, boy. Well, we've all known each other a long time. We've all been together in other bands over the course of about 25, 27 years. So really it's just a bunch of old school guys that are friends, and we've always played together. And, probably 2014, I think it was, we sort of talked about doing a project with all the old school guys and just kind of doing a classic band. And it finally came to life in 2015. And it was really that simple. We just wanted to play. We wanted to play together, and a couple of the guys, again, I've been in bands with them for years and years, in different formats or whatever. And as far as the influence, we started out with just the notion of we all grew up in the Salt Lake hardcore scene. So, but we're also metalheads, above that, we're all absolute music fans. We absolutely are all obsessed with music. So you kind of put everybody's influence together, and it's pretty weird what we come up with, but it works out. It's cool. We enjoy it. And, it seems some people seem to enjoy it as well. So,
well, I just noticed, I know the first time I met you, first thing I was drawn to was your Kiss tattoo. So I knew that they had to have influenced you somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was my first love in life, right? Like that was my thing when I was 5. It was Kiss and Star Wars. Admittedly, I'm not, it's not my favorite genre to go to. I don't really listen to it a ton, but it's that thing that got me on the music path. They were my band.
Yeah.
And that led me to, more hard rock, which led me to metal, which led me to hardcore, and on it went. So
you guys have an album or an EP, I would say, coming out called Act III The Getaway.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the about where musically where that's comes from, and what would you say your hardcore sound comes from?
Man, it's all over the map.
Is it?
Yeah, everybody in the band, they listen to so many different kinds of music. And this particular record, it came out, we put it out on Bandcamp last week. It's still unfortunately not up on Spotify, but it should be any time now. This one is actually more diverse than the other 2 records we put out, or the other 2 EPs rather. And it really was just, we have so many creative people in the band and such great musicians that the writing style is really just all over the map. And so they give me a lot of really great things to write, lyrics to. And from that, I am all over the map as well. So I just kind of, I'm lucky to play with these just amazing musicians that give me these great pieces of music to write to. And from that, it's turned into this cool collection of songs. It's probably veers a little more metal than hardcore this time around. There's certainly more melody than we've done in the past with vocals. But man, just some amazing guitar solos and amazing bass lines. And you can, when you listen to it, if you listen to it front to back, you can absolutely tell that our influences are all over the place, from there's absolutely a song on the record that is a tribute to the Deftones. There's certainly some Metallica riffs that that are very clear.
Yeah.
But then old school hardcore. I love Judge and Youth of Today and Gorilla Biscuits and Integrity, and so we just try to mix it all together.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's fun. That's really at the bottom line. It's fun to do.
So with it being 2020 and the shit all over the place. How did you guys record? Did you each go in individually? Did you go in as a band, or did you send tracks to each other? How did that work for you?
We did a little bit of both. We started out obviously in the studio with David Evanoff, who recorded and produced it. We laid down bass and drums in the studio, and then we sort of had to just kind of, send him the guitar tracks. Everybody sort of did it on their own. And, it was, if nothing else, it was more just because everybody's pretty busy with real life. So we had to sort of do it when we could. And it's been actually in the making for quite a while. We started the process, God, it might have been over a year and a half ago. So
okay.
We don't exactly, we're not fast getting things done just because, again, we have real lives and careers and families and that kind of thing. But, yeah, we send it all to Dave, and he sort of just, he does his magic. And then obviously the vocals are done in the studio, wearing a mask, of course, when we're not recording. But, yeah, and there you have it. And then Dave does his magic to it. So
nice. I mean, for me, I can hear the influence, like you mentioned the riffs of like Metallica and stuff. I mean, I can definitely hear it. It's heavy in riffs, which is really fun for me, which is something I really enjoy in music today. Yeah,
we're riff guys. We're just again, we're metalheads. Justin Spencer and Matty Jones, Jay Wilkinson, they're metal guys and hardcore guys. And, it's just fun. There's absolutely some Hatebreed influence in there. It's kind of fun that we kind of make fun of each other. And, when people bring ideas to the table, it's like, guess who this is influenced by? Which band? Oh, I can tell who you've been listening to in the last week and a half. The song, here's a new idea, and it sounds very similar to so-and-so. But, that's fun. That's cool. That's part of the enjoyment is kind of, mixing in your own influence and what you like. So, and I'm a huge, I have a straight up man crush on Chino. So,
oh, do you really?
Yeah, man, he's one of the greatest frontmen ever. Yeah. So the fact that you guys caught the Deftones reference on Demons, I mean, that was the intent, straight up. That was absolutely what I was intending to try to do.
Nice. And so for me, I mean, I obviously didn't review the album, but Austin did, and Austin loved the album, and I loved the album. But I really dig "Destroy Everything." That's just a great song to me because it has that element of a punk or a hardcore sound, but it also lyrically is just, what more can you say?
Wow, yeah. What more can you say? I sometimes. I don't really know where it comes from. Sometimes, I think stuff is pretty dark. Our stuff is pretty dark, but I feel like it's pretty truthful. The strange part for me on this record is some of the lyrics, how well they fit for this particular period that we're in. But many of them were written 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. And have absolutely nothing to do with the current situation we're in, yet they fit the current situation we're in. At some point, I remember telling, I think, Justin, like, God, I hope people don't think that this was kind of written about 2020, because it really wasn't. It really was just, that's kind of my general sentiment most of the time. So, it's hardcore metal and all that kind of stuff. I think it obviously leans more towards, being a bit brutal and being honest and being maybe a bit negative and a bit dark. But in my mind, it's the truth. It's truthful. Yeah.
So when things calm down a little bit and we can go back to some semblance of normalcy, what is your guys' plan? Are you gonna get out and do some shows and?
Yeah, we had to cancel a show right before everything happened. We had a show scheduled, and unfortunately we couldn't do it. But we've got some really cool things coming up through some of the connections we have. And it's all just sort of on the wait and see,
Yeah.
mode until we know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, we're actually working on some new songs. I think we're going to try to do a 7-inch, an actual record, The Good Old Days, a 7-inch record
Nice.
in the new year. And then, yeah, hopefully do some shows, hopefully get back to playing. And we don't play out all that often. Again, we tend to think that it's a cooler thing to, not overkill the band. You don't want to pound people over the head with it. We don't want to play too much, but we like to play, the right things. So, but yeah, absolutely. At this point, we can't wait to get back to it. I miss it so much,
Well,
especially now with new songs.
Exactly. I would think for you guys, expressing earlier that you said you all have lives, and so it would be hard to like get out there and play every single night and around everywhere for you guys. And in some senses, it probably takes away the fun too.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It's very difficult. Our drummer is Brad Butterfield. He's in a couple of bands, and I'm always reminded when I sometimes throw out shows, on a Tuesday, and we're the opener, we're opening for 5 other bands, and it's, we're on at 5:50 or whatever. And, Brad has to remind me like, hey man, I have to, go get my set and set it up and break it down. And, you forget that, you've got to attend to real life. So we try to, just kind of keep it special. And, it's been fun. We've had tremendous opportunities in the past to open for some great bands we love, Sick of It All and Suicidal Tendencies,
Nice.
Exodus. And it makes it very difficult to go back to anything else when you've done that. It's just a lot of fun. But it's always fun to play live. I mean, even when we've played shows with, you're the opening act on a Tuesday, it's always very cool to look out. And even if it's not that big of a show, to see somebody, bobbing their head or they buy your T-shirt at the end of the night, it's just cool. It's fun. It's what it's about, really. So.
And then when the album's out now, as far as streaming goes, with everything except for Spotify, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, it should be up anytime. We put it out, and we had an issue with our artwork. So it's been held up. But yeah, it should be up on all the streaming sites soon.
And then if people want to buy a physical copy of it, can they get a physical copy?
We don't have it yet.
Okay.
We've discussed that, but again, it's sort of the same issue without a show.
Yeah.
Or without shows to really play at. We figured we would kind of hold off. We've toyed with the idea of putting it on vinyl, which is very expensive. But even, do people listen to CDs anymore? I don't know if they do, but it is all, we're a fan of having physical copies of everything. So there absolutely will be a physical copy at some point. We've talked about maybe remixing a couple songs and adding on a few other songs from previous EPs and then doing a record. So, we'll see.
I know. For me, being someone, and you're probably the same way, I love to have a physical copy of something because that's how I grew up. Reading liner notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I absolutely do, but I've had to limit it over the years. I finally had to stop because I was running out of physical space.
Yeah.
To put CDs and records, and I decided many years ago, like, you've got to go digital. And I love the fact that you can kind of take every piece of music with you everywhere you go. That's pretty cool.
I like that too.
You remember the old days when you would go on a road trip and you would have to take 9 CD wallets because you weren't sure what you were going to want to listen to on that road trip?
Oh man, I remember that so well. And going, okay, I've got to pick. I've got 20 CDs I can pick.
Right.
And I've got to, okay, what am I going to be in the mood for? Am I going to want to listen to this or this? And then inevitably you get out there and you go, shit, why don't I have this?
No, absolutely. The one record, the one CD that you didn't bring is what you ended up wanting to listen to.
Yeah.
And God help you if you were gone for like 5 or 6 days. It was atrocious back then. They have to, carry wallets of CDs everywhere. And, obviously vinyl has its own issues.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But yes, it will be at some point. We will do something, and it will be available at, probably through our, we don't have a website. We're not exactly, again, we don't spend a tremendous amount of time on socials, but if you know us or if you want to get a hold of us, you can certainly find us to get that stuff.
And then my last question is for you, since you kind of touched on it earlier, but I've been asking this ever since the world went to hell, is can you give me a song from the current album or any of your collection that you feel would best describe the state of the world as we know it today?
Oh, boy. Well, I would say, I mean, again, it goes without saying how things are. I think if anything, maybe the one off the new album, which you should do, Be Better Than You Are.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really that difficult to
exactly
not suck? I mean, you know what I mean? There's so much darkness. There's so much crap going on. I mean, I guess that would be my statement. Be better than you are. Don't suck. Be kind.
You don't have to be a dick.
No, you don't. It's not punk rock to be a dick.
No.
I mean, it is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Be nice. Be kind. If you don't like something, move on.
Yeah.
Right? Move on.
Yeah.
Just leave people alone and let them. It seems so obvious, right?
It does.
Just seems so obvious. You don't have to tell people not to be a dick.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well, Trent, I appreciate your time, and everybody go check out your guys' Facebook page and your Bandcamp page, right?
Yeah, it's Villain Hardcore on Bandcamp, and then it's Villain SLC Hardcore on Instagram. And again, we update things as they come out, and we'll absolutely be promoting it on Spotify when it comes out any day. So.
And it's Act III The Getaway.
Act III The Getaway, yeah. And thanks again, for doing this and the support. And man, what a great review.
Yeah,
That was an amazing way to start the day the other day.
Good.
It almost had to put it on my Facebook page. Like, I didn't pay you guys off. I didn't pay cash for that. That was like, oh my God, they're going to think I wrote this. So it was great. We appreciate it.
Good. Well, take care. And I look forward to catching up with you guys and seeing you guys live.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I hope to see you at a show in the near future. And, man, stay safe.